It is the Worst of the Riot podcast. This is the Thursday, December 14th edition. A big day here for us. Our Riot Christmas party is tonight. You'll want to join us for that on the RadioU Riot Facebook page and YouTube channel. Also, stay tuned. Our Christmas party themed Worst of the Riot Extra podcast also coming soon. Finally, what's actually in this show, you may ask? Well, we give you some tips on how to introduce yourself to your significant other's family if you're doing that for the first time this holiday season. We also tell you one smell that is not recommended for huffing.
We also talk about why some people are more afraid now than ever before for absolutely no reason. And then we have a thorough discussion about some of our most hated and most loved childhood stores.
Yes. Reliving some memories. Always love doing that. If you've got a question for our Christmas party tonight, of course, let us know at 8772-RADIO-U or just any feedback on the show. We're happy to hear it. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Isaiah, do you know what a Steam Deck is?
I don't think so.
If you had to guess, Steam Deck.
I assume it's some sort of steam that comes out maybe below your deck.
Like some kind of therapy is what I picture, like some kind of aroma therapy or something like that.
Nice.
But yeah, like a diffuser. A Steam Deck is actually a handheld gaming console.
Well, clearly they're not doing very good with advertising.
Not to us, but we are not doing well with gaming. And the Steam Deck...
$500? I've never even heard of it. Are you joking?
Well, it's got a new...
Is it brand spanking new?
There's a new one, a new version,
I believe. The Valve Steam Deck I'm seeing here.
Valve is the company.
The 512 gigabyte handheld console, $584 on Amazon.
It's got an OLED screen.
So does everything nowadays.
It's also putting off some fumes. So it is kind of
it's a steam deck.
It is kind of steaming.
Of course it is.
In some sense.
The whole point.
Like a gaming console you might be more familiar with, say an Xbox. This gaming console, the Valve Steam Deck, it has exhaust vents because it puts off enough heat that it needs that kind of thing. And Valve, the company that's responsible for the Steam Deck, has had to come out and say that they do not recommend you huffing the fumes that come out of the exhaust of your Steam Deck because people have been doing that. People have been asking and they've been saying, we don't endorse this.
When does anyone ever endorse huffing? When have they ever been like, yes, huff. Please, huff more.
If huff is the verb that's being used, that probably means you shouldn't be verbing that verb.
Shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Should not be huffing.
Huffing is generally frowned upon. Now, they say there's been no safety concerns, adverse incidents that have come from this as of yet. But because people have been asking, because I guess at first it turned into a little bit of a joke on Reddit and stuff of that nature, Valve has just wanted to clarify. And when people have been asking them directly, they say that it is generally not recommended that you take a long, hard sniff of any fumes coming out of your Valve Steam Deck. Even though people say it smells real good.
I would always lean nay on the huffing. Carl says we're a disappointment to gamers everywhere for not knowing what a Steam Deck was.
Well, we're not gamers. Yes, we did a whole podcast episode about video games recently, but if you listen to that, you would know we aren't gamers.
February of 2022, the original Steam Deck was launched. It's pretty new.
Yeah, come on. You expect us to be up on everything?
He's like, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
I
there's
haven't seen a commercial, all right?
Sure, there's lots of radio equipment
Have you seen a
and
commercial?
like sports stuff.
I need a commercial.
Other people don't know about that.
I need a commercial for it. If they had a commercial, I'd know.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a commercial. Also, hasn't been recommended to be on Amazon yet.
Well, you don't have enough money for it.
Yeah, there you
go. Quick question. What is the best smell that you're not supposed to smell?
That's a good question. Maybe right off the rip, you go to the gas station pumping gas.
I was thinking gas, or the other obvious one, Sharpies.
I've never sniffed
You
them.
don't sniff Sharpies?
No.
There's a couple of them over there.
See, at the gas station, I come by innocently because I'm just standing there.
Uh-huh. You never write with a Sharpie in your life.
I've written with a Sharpie, but it doesn't give off that. It's not like that.
Oh, it smells good. I think that's the answer.
No.
Text in your answer. The best smelling thing you're not supposed to smell, 8772 Radio U.
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
You know, this is a busy time at the holidays for many to not just, experience family get-togethers, but to meet, perhaps for the first time, your partner's family as well.
I'm in danger.
That's right. You could be, which is why I have a list of tips here in case in the next couple weeks is your first time getting to know the in-laws, or I guess they wouldn't be probably likely your in-laws yet, but perhaps future in-laws. Isaiah, let me run through these, see what you think of them. Tip number 1, don't come empty-handed. You need to bring something.
Bringing some sort of food?
You could bring
a snack?
Some kind of flowers.
A dish? No, you're not bringing flowers.
You can bring flowers.
That's wild. Who are you bringing flowers for?
Mom. That's a nice gesture.
Don't do that.
Flowers. You could bring homemade baked goods of some kind.
I think maybe
something for dessert.
I think a dessert is fine.
I think flowers is nice.
I think flowers would be a little awkward. Hi there. Here you are. It's very I don't know. It's very
traditional.
Yeah, it's almost too
too
much.
What kind of family's gonna be mad if you bring them flowers?
They're gonna be mad. They might just think like, this guy, whoo.
Too much?
He's really going for it here, isn't he? Then you shake the dad's hand real stern, you hold it, and you never release first.
No, of course not. That's another tip is read body language upon first meeting to figure out if they want hugs or handshakes.
Just go in for a hug with dad. Just become very quick with them.
You think so?
Hug.
That's your advice?
No, I think you should not hug dad.
Do you extend the hand and then because either way you get the handshake, but then you can do the handshake hug?
Oh, no, you're not going, whoa, buddy. All right, Buster. You keep your hands to yourself. You can shake my hand. You better not be touching my back.
This is an important one. Learn names.
Smart.
It's suggested here that you ask your partner to give you on their phone or something, flashcards of the family members, because that shows that that you're paying attention.
The important part is it's not always that you know the names. But the important part is you don't say a name that's not theirs.
You don't want to misidentify anybody.
You'd rather go with friend or pal before you say the wrong name.
All right. I think this is a great tip because it can be hard when you're meeting your significant other's family for the first time. What do you talk about? It says here, ask about your partner's childhood. A common little, what was she like growing up? Maybe be more specific, less interrogative, to sound less like you're interrogating people. But, how was she in school? Play any sport? I don't know. Ask questions about growing up. You probably need to think about it a little more than I just did.
Maybe fun. They like comical stories.
Yeah, right. But
embarrassing moments.
Another tip here, though, is don't joke at your partner's expense. I cannot endorse that.
Neither can I.
That's a bad tip.
I think that's hilarious.
If you, obviously be careful. You don't want to insult your partner, but if you can have fun and, again, they're the common connector here. So if you can make good jokes about them, with everybody, laugh, including them, as long as they can laugh along with you, that's going to be a great way to build a bond with this new family.
That was my first move. That was the very first thing I said, was a joke about her.
Yeah.
I pulled up, as we know, my car crunched from the RadioU parking lot.
Yeah.
I've got a big dent in the front. I get out of the car. He goes, oh, rough driving here on the way, pointing at my truck being dented.
Yeah.
I said, well, I've been letting your daughter drive. He thought that was hilarious. Immediately off on the right foot.
That's good. A couple more here. Offer to clean up. That's just kind. That just shows you have good manners. They'll probably tell you no, but maybe. Don't sit on the sidelines if they're like, if you know, a lot of people do board games, card games, stuff like that. Don't sit those out. Even if you hate them, have a good attitude about it.
You got to participate.
Yeah, you got to participate.
Get in there.
And listen as much as you talk. Don't try to be the center of attention, even though they'll probably make you the center of attention. They're probably going to ask you a lot of stuff. Just make sure you are there to learn as well. Pretty good. I think this is a pretty good list of tips.
One of the better lists that we've had as of late. Usually it's just bad.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
A big new study at Montclair State University in New Jersey has found that people growing up now think the world is more dangerous than every previous generation in modern history. We are more scared, the people growing up right now, more scared of the world than any other generation has been in, again, modern history. So what, we're talking at least 100 years, you would say?
I'd say so.
So what they basically asked a bunch of people that would be considered Gen Zers, how much they're concerned about certain risks with life right now. And what they found was the nervousness, the anxiety about these risks is much higher for Gen Z than it was at the same time period for previous generations. Like you go back to millennials when they were growing up, not as afraid. Baby boomers, obviously, not as afraid. But here's the kicker. The world is actually, like a lot of these risk factors they asked about, you're at less risk now than you would have been when you were growing up as a baby boomer or a millennial. So figure that one out.
There's a lot to handle for some people.
In other words, we're safer now, but we're more scared now.
Because I'm looking at numbers, right?
Yeah.
Because like one of the big things is like the people are afraid of is like dying.
Yeah,
okay?
of course.
Being like murdered.
Probably one
attacked.
of the top things I'm afraid of is not being alive.
And the rates, like the murder rates, since like a long time have been going down.
Yep.
Kind of crazy.
That's good news.
It is. It's great news. Why are we not celebrating?
Maybe people just aren't hearing that enough.
People aren't.
That's actually...
People think probably, if I asked people, if we did a survey of 100 people, a Riot survey.
Across generations.
Across generations, do you think between, let's say, just 1990 to now, do you think there are more or less murders per year?
Yeah.
I feel like most people would say more.
Probably.
You have to think so, right?
Yeah. And but what's interesting, I think, is that's unique to our time now, where in 1990, if you ask people, are there more or less murders than there were in the 60s or whatever, they might not be as likely to say, there's definitely more murders now, even though actually, in that case, might have been true. So, yeah, what they theorize here in this study is that since we're constantly bombarded with like news headlines on our phone, we're seeing stuff on social media all the time, it's more likely that the stuff you're seeing is negative, which just reinforces the thoughts that there's so much negative going on that you are more unsafe because there's so much more risk in the world. They also say, though, that they think that like us growing up now tend to see things more black and white, as in either something's dangerous or it's safe. Where the truth is, like if you're leaving your house, depending on where you're going, there's a whole wide range of where you're going. Is it safe? Is it unsafe? It's not just, yes, it's safe. Yes, it's dangerous. It's 70%. You know, like there's a range but we're not very good at calculating that anymore or considering that. It's all yes or no answers.
And the answer for everyone right now is they are in danger.
Yeah.
Constant danger. But
Constantly.
if you look back, if you want to know when you were really in danger, you were really in danger back in the 1980s
Yeah.
when yet again, homicides, murders, twice as much as now.
Yeah.
Twice. Isn't that crazy?
Well,
Twice.
Yeah.
Between the 70s and 80s, since 2001, the numbers have been just about a steady the same. All the way to 2023. It's been about the same. The lowest year was 2014 at its lowest when you were in the least amount of danger. But even then, it was still very comparable to right now.
It's
But
crazy.
back in the 70s, of 70s to 90s, danger.
Think about this. If you just the way you view it could be a positive or negative. Is that we consume so much true crime right now. It's a popular thing, right? But if you focus especially on the serial killers, think about all the serial killer stories that you hear. There aren't any serial killers nowadays, are there?
Not that I can, not with any crazy names.
Yeah. Back in the day, there's the Stranglers and the,
The Zodiac.
Yeah. I don't even know. I'm going to start making some up. But all the serial killers are from like the 80s. They're not from the 2020s. We got to be safe. But because you're constantly listening to stuff about being killed, makes you think you might be more likely to be killed.
That's why you listened to the riot and said, "What's
That's
that
right.
straight?
We're telling you the good news.
You're safe.
You're safe.
Go out there."
Oh, hi there.
This worst of the riot.
Crank that up.
Radio U.
Did you know Kirk Cousins, quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, although he's injured now, he joined the Manning cast for part of the Dolphins-Titans game.
That's nice.
Yeah. During his time on the Manning cast, he showed off. He's got a blinged out chain that says Kohl's Cash on it. The backstory is Kohl's gave this to him after it became a joke online. The original tweet was, "You just know this dude is rolling in Kohl's Cash."
Because of the way he dresses.
Because of, how he looks. And so now Kohl's is embracing it. He's embracing it. He's been showing off the chain on Twitter as well. X, I guess. My first question, is that an insult to say that he's rolling in Kohl's Cash?
I don't think it's an insult. It would be to certain people.
Yeah.
But to Kirk Cousins, I don't think it is.
He wouldn't. Yeah, he's embracing it. He's not taking it as an insult at all.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think for him, he's reached the point where he knows that he's not cool.
Yeah.
And he's become a meme many a times because of his awkwardness style.
Yeah.
His awkward style.
It's kind of cringy.
But now he's
Kinda
making money off of
chuggy.
it. Yeah, he's making money off of it.
He's making Kohl's Cash.
Heck yeah, he is.
Would you be insulted if somebody said that about you?
I would not, but I did. I will tell you this much. I did not like Kohl's as a child.
Why not?
I felt like we used to go to Kohl's every Sunday.
Uh-huh.
My mom used to go there all the time, and I just hated that place. I hated walking in there, the smell. They never had anything I wanted,
Yeah.
and I felt like we were in there forever. I was not a fan of Kohl's. That was probably one of my most hated stores
Wow.
on the Sunday shopping trips my mom would do.
What? Now I have to know what else is on your hated stores list.
The top one was Kohl's. I
Uh-huh.
liked Target because at
Target
Target,
was great, yeah.
the good thing about Target as a child, you can get a slushie.
Yeah.
Plus, big bonus. Sam's Club. I liked Sam's Club
Wait, what?
because you
Time
could
out.
get a slushie.
Why is the food court that's at Target, especially when I was growing up, before it was like a Starbucks and a Pizza Hut, it was like that thing with the neon lights and the popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it was called, Swizzle Sticks or something like that. I don't know. But that was much more tempting than anything at Walmart. The Walmarts that have the Subways and the Auntie Anne's and the McDonald's inside.
Ooh.
Not as tempting as the Target food court.
The Auntie Anne's is right there. If we went to the mall, which we didn't usually do mall.
Yeah.
Usually we were going to stores. But if we went to mall, my mom was all about the Auntie Anne's. We could always get
Yeah.
a pretzel.
I was-
Mainly because she wanted one. She would get some cinnamon sticks and we would roll. But Kohl's, yet again, had nothing for me there.
No food court in Kohl's.
Nothing good in there. They don't even really have toys. And yet again, my parents had a toy store. I wasn't getting toys from Kohl's.
Yeah.
I already had toys. I wanted a snack. And at Kohl's, they didn't have that.
Here's what I remember from growing up is that Kohl's, all the girls loved Kohl's. That was like one of their favorite places, the gals I knew, because the deals.
The deals.
Yeah, the deals. They could get cute stuff. They loved Kohl's.
That's how TJ Maxx is now, man.
Yeah. TJ Maxx, people go nuts
crazy
for that place.
TJ Maxx.
But maybe I'm like Kirk Cousins. I kind of don't mind Kohl's. I think they got some good. I think they got some good deals.
Dakota says Little Caesars and Kmart was the best.
I don't remember. We didn't do a lot of shopping at Kmart.
Not a big
I think
Kmart
even when
fan.
I was growing up, Kmart was going out of style.
I'm telling you, if there was food in any store, as a child, you loved it. If you were allowed to get it. It was a tease if you couldn't.
Yeah.
If I went to Target and I didn't get a slushie, now I hate Target.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, the mall was the best place to go shopping because every time we were getting some food. Every single time.
Oh, yeah. You're stopping. And I think for sure if I'm a parent and you walk into Target and you can keep your kid quiet the whole time with a $1 slushie, it is worth it 10 times out of 10.
I think I'm with you on that.
If you like that video, there's a ton more. Go check out our past videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.